This is the first of what will probably be a multi-part video series on drawing schematics and understanding schematics for HVAC. So what do we want to start off with is the basics, because how we learn to draw schematics is sort of done as a building block. So let's start off with just what happens to be one of the assignments in one of our courses. Okay, it's a simple assignment. What we're asking the students to do is draw a single pole double throw switch that controls 2 bulbs in series as well as 3 bulbs in series. In other words, we have a total of 5 bulbs. The 3 bulbs will never be energized at the same time as the 2 bulbs. Now we want this in a ladder diagram with labels. Okay, so let's first of all understand what we're asking. We have 5 light bulbs. 2 of them are in series. Then 3 are in series. A single pole double throw switch controls them so that the 3 bulbs will never be energized at the same time as the 2 bulbs. Okay, so let's switch over to a blank PDF expert page. Okay, PDF Expert is probably one of the best places to draw schematics. Now, people have it on their iPads, people have it on their phones. I'm happening to use the one that I have on my laptop because it just gives me a bigger area to work with and I can record it. But it's the same piece of software. So, now, let's start off with our power supply. Okay, we have to have a power supply. We have to have a safety switch someplace in our power supply. So I'm going to come in here and we're just going to do it in, I'm going to come out of what we consider line. I'm going to draw my L subrail and I'm going to try to get every line straight. I'm going to draw neutral in. Okay, now be very careful. Don't draw a line across the bottom because that would be considered a short circuit. The other thing I'm going to do is I'm going to come in here and draw in a switch. Okay, this switch is basically my safety switch. Okay, and we're going to label now because we have to get in the habit of labeling. I'm going to label my line. And in this case, we're going to treat it as a 120 volt circuit. I'm going to label my 120 volts. And I'm going to label my safety switch. Now, since we have our side rails, that gives me my voltage. Now we can worry about the actual schematic itself. So, we start off with the easy part. We have to have a single pole double throw switch. Out of each of the terminals of the switch, the top and bottom terminal or terminal 1, terminal 2, however you call it, we're going to have light bulbs coming. So, and we have to feed a single power into the switch. So let's go ahead and I think what we're going to do is we're going to start over here. Okay. And I'm going to come in and I'm going to draw my switch in first. Okay, so I have 1 pole or 1 throw. Now I have the other throw. Okay, so I can come in here and I can label this as SW1. Okay, now I'm going to go ahead and before I forget, let's go ahead and give that switch some power. Okay, let's connect that switch. Now, I have 2 light bulbs in series, right? That was part of what the diagram said. So let's go ahead and no, first of all, oh, we can do it in red or let's do it in green. Okay, I have 2 light bulbs in series. In series means we have 1 path for power to flow. Okay, so there's my 2 light bulbs in series. Then I also end up with having, and that wasn't what I wanted. Okay, then for my other part of this, the thing said I have 3 light bulbs in series. Okay, so now there's my 3 light bulbs in series. So let's go ahead and connect everything together, okay? And we know everything has to come back to neutral to complete the circuit. So this one's a little bit off, so we're just going to come down there. We'll connect that together. Okay, now we can't forget to label, because that will just cause problems. If we don't start labeling on simple circuits, we're going to have problems as time goes on the more complex circuits. So get in the habit of labeling things to start with. Okay, so what we have here is we have our schematic 1. Okay, we have a single pole double throw switch controlling 2 bulbs in series and 3 bulbs in series. All 5 bulbs will never be on at one time because of how the switch works. Okay, it can't connect to 2 bulbs at one time. Okay, so again, just to recap, it didn't tell this description basically told us every component we had to use. So all we had to do was fill in the diagram or put the components in the right place. Okay, it actually gave us a sequence of operation. It told us bulb 1 and 2 will not be energized at the same time as 3, 4, and 5. So the key to drawing schematic diagrams is to read the sequence of operation. Okay, read what the description is telling you, or know in your head what the equipment should be doing. Draw it out and understand what symbols you're going to be using. For example, the symbol of a switch, the symbol of a single pole double throw switch, the fact that you have to have a line in neutral, and the fact that every line that comes across, every ladder of your schematic has to have a load. You cannot connect one side to another. In other words, if I would come across and do something like this, okay, that would be a direct short circuit because I have a switch, but the moment that thermostat closes, okay, I would now have an uncontrolled path of power from line to neutral. So you can't do that. Okay, so let's just get rid of that there so we don't get ourselves confused. So that is a basic schematic diagram that's drawn from a paragraph that tells you, or a sentence that tells you how something should work.